Morning, Artsy Avenue. Morning, Alyssa. Morning, TK. Morning, Ash. Love my hair, thank you. My hair's not behaving today. Morning, Travis. Thank you for the sub. 1 month subscriber. Thank you so much. Hope everyone's having a good day. I am so far. Woke up nice and early, well rested. Feeling good about the week. Everyone tap that screen, share the live, please. Let's get this party started. Hello, Twitch. How we doing? I see we got 6 people watching over on Twitch. Badass, Girl Glock. That's badass. I love that. Hello, Cam. My eye color is amazing. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hey there, Tina. Where are my favorite places to shop? Hot Topic. Hot Topic, guys.
What's up?
Hello, Salty John. How you doing?
Well, I'm good. What's up?
Doing all right. How old are you, please?
33.
33. Okay. Should I be using the women's restroom?
I don't think so, no.
Why not?
Just the simple fact that you are a man, and I wouldn't think females would respect the fact, or some, I'm not saying all, I'm saying some, wouldn't feel, I don't think they'd feel very comfortable knowing that you are a man using the women's bathroom.
Okay, I'm actually a woman. Thank you for the forever, Rosa.
Biologically, no, you're not.
When you say biologically, what do you mean?
You were born a man.
What specifically do you mean when you say that?
You were born a man.
Yeah, what does that mean to you? Go into detail.
You were born with you know what I mean. You were born as a man. You were born as a man. You weren't born with a vagina. You were born with, you know what, a penis. You know what I
mean? Okay, so I was born with a penis, and that's why you're saying that I'm not a woman.
Yes. A woman was born with a vagina. She will always have that. Your characteristics are not really a woman.
Hang on one moment. I need to address. Hang on one moment. I need to talk to my Discord mods real quick. If one of my Discord mods could unlock Adora live chat, because it's not working on my end. If one of my Discord mods could unlock that, that would be awesome. Thank you. Okay. So Salty John, my argument is that your genitalia does not determine your gender. So it doesn't matter what I have between my legs. I could have a penis, I could have a vagina, I could have nothing, I could have both. None of that impacts whether or not I'm a woman.
I don't think that a woman and a child that are in the bathroom and then they see that a man dressed as a woman comes in, I don't think that's going to be very comfortable for that family. I mean,
explain to me what a man, like when you say man dressed as a woman, what do you mean?
You're
Again, I'm not a man. I am a woman. I'm a woman that was born with a penis.
That does not make sense.
What genitalia do I have right now?
What do you mean?
What genitalia do I have at this very moment?
I don't know. I mean,
you don't know.
You're a man.
Okay, so I've told you that I'm a woman, and when I asked you why I'm not a woman, you mentioned a penis. So you seem to have some way of knowing what genitalia some people have. How do you know what genitalia people have?
I don't know what you have. If you
Right, you don't know. So that
logically had I mean, if you had a what's the word I'm looking for? If like you got it removed and had like surgery, but that still doesn't make you a woman.
Agreed. I agree. Surgery doesn't make someone a woman. I don't think that genitalia makes someone a man or a woman or anything like that.
Point. So you were a man. You were born as a man. You were a man. That it doesn't get that.
Okay, but how do you know just looking at me?
Oh, I can tell.
How?
Muscular face.
So because I have a muscular face, wait, hang on. So because I have a muscular, hang on. Because I have a muscular face, well, I don't even know what that means. I must have a penis.
No, I can tell you're a man. I'm sorry, I could just tell. You can tell you're a man. I mean, there is.
Right, I'm trying. How? How can you tell?
This is good.
Salty.
Yes.
You said I have a muscular face. What does that mean?
You're masculine. Like you look.
Oh, okay. So because I'm masculine, I must be a man.
You know what I'm saying. Come on. You know.
I do. Well, what you're saying is that in order to use the women's restroom, you have to look like a woman, and that is problematic.
I mean, I'm gonna just say like if you are more, I don't know. There's transgender women out there that you couldn't even tell that they're.
So your argument is that you have to look a certain way in order to go into the women's restroom.
No, I'm not even saying that. But I mean, if I were to walk into the man's bathroom and or the woman's bathroom, they're gonna have problems. I mean, they're gonna be like, why is he in here?
So you keep pivoting away from the question.
If you go into the women's bathroom, do you have problems? Is that anybody?
No, I don't. I literally don't. Never have.
You've never got an eye contact, like, what the hell's going on here?
A slightly awkward look is the worst I've ever had to deal with. Other than that, no problems.
I mean, yeah, because I guess there's a lot of people in this world that respect the fact that you are trans. But I mean, all reality, I just think you should be using a man's bathroom since you're a man.
Why? And what about me is telling you that I'm a man?
Because I don't know how else to say. You're obviously you look as a man.
I look like a man. Okay, so you are saying that in order to use the women's restroom, you have to look like a woman. In order to use the men's restroom, you have to look like a man. What that means? Thank you so much for the 1 month sub. Salty. What that means is that what you're saying is that masculine women have to use the men's restroom, feminine men have to use the women's restroom. That is what you're saying.
I'm saying women have to use the women's bathroom, men have to use the men's bathroom.
But when I tell you that I'm a woman and that I use the women's restroom, you're telling me that the reason hang on. You're telling me that the reason that I can't use the women's restroom is because of how I look.
In a way, not really. I'm saying because you are not a woman, you cannot use the women's bathroom. You are not a woman.
Okay, why am I not a woman?
Because you were not. You were born.
Because you're not is not a valid answer. Do better.
Because you have a penis.
You don't. How do you know what genitalia I have?
You were born with it.
How do you know?
How do I know you were You weren't born with a penis? Come on, man. Come
Yeah,
on.
how do you know? But besides, like, I did tell you earlier on in this discussion. But other than
Woman has-
I'm still talking. If I was a stranger walking down the street, how would you know what genitalia I have?
It's common sense. You can tell.
Okay, what
sound
about
like
what?
your voice-
Hang on, Salty. I'm asking for clarification. What about what about common sense lets you know what I have between my legs?
You're masculine. Your voice.
I'm masculine. Okay, are there masculine women? Holy shit, Momo Fat, thank you, coming in clutch. By the way, guys, I want to be absolutely clear, 100% of the gifts that I received today, 100% of the gifts I received today are going to a family in Palestine that is trying to flee Gaza. For the entirety of this week, all gifts I receive are going to help fundraise for a family to leave Gaza.
You're born with a penis, correct?
I don't think it's relevant. Thank you for the finger hearts.
All right. You shave your beard.
I also don't think that's relevant.
Okay. You definitely look very masculine as a man.
You continue to say that, but
You're. I'm trying to catch.
Salty.
You asking me?
Think of the superpowers.
I'm answering them. I don't think you should be using the women's bathroom because you're a man. You say you're a woman, but you're not a woman. I don't know or understand the psychology of you. You're a man. You were born a man. You will always be a man.
And I'm trying to get you to understand, thank you so much for the hand heart, that you can't tell what gender a person is just by looking at them.
Yes.
And
Yes. Some others no. But you,
Salty, you're saying that it's common sense what gender a person is, and yet you've completely gotten my gender wrong. Thank you for the panther pause.
I did not. See, there's some. Listen, there's some trans women.
Salty, what makes you a man?
What makes
you a man?
You come on. You can tell I have a penis.
I have no idea if you have a penis or not.
I can produce babies.
You could, okay. So if you were infertile, would you still be a man?
Yes.
Why?
Because I have a penis and I have a balls. I have a nutsack.
Okay, what if you got in an accident tomorrow and you lost your penis and your testicles? Thank you for the heart puffs.
I have a birth certificate that says I'm a man.
Okay, so what if your birth certificate had never been printed?
I have parents that know I'm a man, and I have family that know I'm a man.
So your parents tell you that you're a man. You don't know that you're a man. Your parents tell you that.
It's truly, I mean, I'm masculine. I'm cut. I'm a man. I'm a man. I'm a man. If you can just tell, I'm trying to make a point here is that some people you can tell that, but some people you can't. Because there's trans out there that.
So what you were saying.
But you're not.
Okay, yeah, I'm aware that there are trans women out there that are drop dead gorgeous and they pass perfectly. By the way, I'm also drop dead gorgeous. If anyone who disagrees with that, that's a them problem, not a me problem. I'm drop dead gorgeous.
I agree with you for that.
Red Jewel, thank you so much for the sub. I appreciate you.
But I'm trying to say you're not one of the trans that you look more as a man. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Okay. And what is the purpose in you saying that I look like a man?
I just said that. I just told you like 5 times. The way you.
No. What I'm trying to. Why is it important to you to say that I look like a man?
Why is it important? It's not important. I'm just letting you know who you are.
Then why did you do it?
Because I'm letting you know who you are.
Okay. Does what you said benefit?
It'll help you out in the future.
Okay. Explain to me, Salty. How is what you just said going to benefit me?
How's it going to benefit you?
Yes.
You'll realize that you were a man and you You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe you'll.
And in what way will that benefit me? In what way will that benefit me, Salty?
It won't.
Okay, so it won't benefit me. Okay, so I'm trying. You called me a man. I asked you why you would do that, and you said because it could help me, and then immediately conceded that it doesn't help me.
Obviously, it doesn't help you, but I mean, I'm sorry.
So then why did you say it?
You're a man, and that's bottom line. I mean,
You're a man. You're a man.
that's bottom line. You're a guy that presents himself as a female.
I'm not letting you pivot off of this. You have insulted me, and I want you to acknowledge
Not.
it. No,
I'm just
would you?
know who you are, and that,
If I were salty, yeah. If I were to say that you look like a woman, would that be insulting to you?
what? If I look like
If I were to tell you that you look like a woman, would that be insulting to you?
no, because I don't let things hurt me. I don't let things get.
Oh, an insult doesn't have salty. My God, an insult does not have to hurt someone.
It doesn't bother me. No.
It can. An insult can hurt someone.
Well, no. Let me say. Listen. The thing is, if you said that I look like a woman, I know damn well I don't look like a woman.
Yeah, and I know damn well that I don't look like a man because I'm not a man. Okay, Salty, if you were to, hang on, I'm not done. Salty, if you were to go up to a random stranger on the street, someone who is presenting themselves as a woman, and you were to say, hey, you look like a man, would that be insulting?
Well, they didn't ask me if about some questions. They didn't ask me if can I use the women's restroom or they.
I'm not asking you if I can use the women's restroom. I'm telling you that I do use the women's restroom.
I'm not just gonna go up to some random person like, yo, hey, you look like a man. But see, I came up.
You just did, Salty. You came into my space and you told me that I look like a man. Why?
You asked me.
Why, Salty? What?
You asked me, and I told you. I asked you a question. You asked me a question. I told you. You said, "Why can't I use Why can't you use the women's bathroom? Because you're a man. You're not a woman." That's what I said. If a guy came,
Is it because of how I look, or is it because of something else?
No.
Salty, is it because of is it because of how I look, or is it because of something else?
it's both how you look and because you were by.
Okay, so what if I was one of these trans women that you talk about that look just that pass perfectly? What then?
I mean, if I knew that they were a man, I mean, no, not really.
Okay, so then it's not about how a person looks to you.
I mean, that's hard to say. I mean, but I mean.
Oh, so it is. Which is it, Salty? Is it about how someone looks, or is it not how someone looks?
I'm sorry. It's just that you can't pass as a woman.
Okay, so if Salty, do you know who Blair White is?
Not right now. You can't. Maybe in the future.
Oh my God, that's not what I asked. Do you know who Blair White is?
I heard. I might have heard of that. Yes.
Okay. So let me give you a hypothetical situation here. Let's say there's a drop dead gorgeous woman, like 100% feminine, meets all the typical stereotypes of what a woman looks like. And she happens to be transgender. She passes as a woman, like in every single way, but she happens to be transgender. Which restroom should she use?
Wait, say that again. I'm sorry. My somebody was.
Okay, we have a passing transgender woman who looks like a woman in all the stereotypical ways.
Yeah.
Which restroom should she use?
Do I know
Thank
she
you.
was do I know she was a man, or is it union, or do I not know?
I'm just saying, you see a woman walk into the bathroom. She looks like a woman, but she happens to be transgender. You don't know she's transgender.
Oh, then yeah.
It's not really relevant.
No. Then nobody's gonna say anything because
So it is about passing to you.
in a way. Yeah.
No, that's not in a way. You just said that if you just said Salty that if she passes, she can use the women's restroom.
If she passes, yeah. Go ahead. I mean.
Okay, so tell me then.
Identify her. They're gonna identify you because you look more as a man than a woman.
Okay, now let's say we have we have a transgender woman. Thank you for the hand hearts, and she's got a beard. Which restroom should she use?
The man's.
Okay, so beards mean you have to use the men's restroom.
You said if a transgender had a beard and she,
A transgender person.
yes, she would. That person, he's gonna have to use the men's.
Okay,
Listen, it's just all.
so Salty, I just want to be clear. You said if you have a beard, you use the men's restroom.
Yep.
Am I right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so do you know what PCOS is?
PCOS.
Yeah.
No.
It's a thing that some cisgender women have that causes them to grow a beard. Additionally, everybody has facial hair on top of that.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, the point of the fact is that we're staying here and we're.
Okay, so Salty, should a woman, a cisgender woman with PCOS who has a beard, be forced to use the men's restroom?
Well, if she a woman, yeah, then she should use the woman's bathroom.
Okay, so the beard isn't the condition then. You're okay with a woman with a beard using the women's restroom.
The point of the fact is, if you are born as a man with a penis, use the.
You're pivoting. You're running away from the point. You are running away from the point.
So, all right, say it again.
I dismantled your argument, Salty, and now you're running.
I'm not running. I'm just letting you know what the fact.
So you are. I want you to acknowledge that it is okay for women with beards.
Hey, hold on. We're gonna have to put this conversation a little later. I have an inspector here. I'll come back.
Adios.
All right, bye.
Get those track stars going, guys. All right. All right, guys, we got 2,100 people watching. That is absolutely amazing. Please keep tapping that screen. I want everyone in here to know that 100% of the gifts that I received today are going to a family in Palestine. I have adopted a family, so to speak. They are trying to raise 30,000 euros. As of now, they've raised about 800 euros. So we got a lot of fundraising to do, guys. We are raising money for a family to get out of Gaza. Help me out by sending those gifts. 100% will be sent, will be donated to their GoFundMe. You can also find the GoFundMe in my link tree. If you don't want to send any money to TikTok or to Google or to Apple, check out my link tree. You can go to their you can go to the GoFundMe and donate directly there. Thank you for the roses, everyone. Thank you for all the gifts. Thank you for the lemonade. Appreciate it. We're going to be doing this for at least a week. I'm giving up my entire gift paycheck for the entire week, which is basically my entire check. So yeah, help me out. Let's raise money for them, guys. Let's get them out of Gaza. We need 30,000 euros. We got a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. This is not a transgender versus cisgender thing. It doesn't matter if you support trans people. It doesn't matter if you are transgender. It doesn't matter if you're against transgender people. We all need to come together for Palestine.
Hello.
I will post my donation receipts both to my Discord and to my Patreon. The Patreon post will be for free. Everyone can check out my Patreon for free. Hello, period. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
How old are you, please?
I'm 23.
23. Fantastic. Okay. I use the women's restroom.
Yeah, I just wanted to pop in here and say that I'm a woman. I don't really care what restroom you use. I would not bat an eye. I've seen, like, quote unquote, some people would say, like, questionable people in the restroom. I don't really care. I'm not uncomfortable, but I think we have to acknowledge the fact that some women would be uncomfortable with, like, you in their bathroom.
Okay, so you're okay with trans women in the women's restroom?
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay, but you are choosing to argue on behalf of transphobic people and against transgender people.
No, I'm not arguing against anybody. I'm just saying that I think we have to acknowledge that literally that some people are uncomfortable.
Should the fact that some people are uncomfortable have any impact on whether or not I should be able to use the women's restroom?
I don't think so, but also I think that the way we have bathrooms set up in, like, especially like America, like gendered bathrooms is so stupid. Like, why can't we just have like a bathroom for both?
For both what?
Like for like a unisex bathroom. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes. I support unisex bathrooms 100%. They're cheaper too.
Yeah, and it would like get rid of like the whole argument.
Yep, agreed. Okay, so you support trans women in women's restrooms, trans men in men's restrooms. I do acknowledge that there are some people that are uncomfortable with trans people using their restrooms. I wish they weren't uncomfortable, but there's not really anything I can do about that.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you'd like to say, period?
No, bye.
Okay, you have a good one. Thank you for coming up, period. W periods in chat, guys. W periods in chat. I came in a little hard on them. I gotta do a better job of resetting after guests. Okay. Keep tapping that screen, guys, and remember 100% of the gifts I receive are going to a family in Palestine so that they can get out of Gaza. Hello, how you doing? Bomb Beauty.
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am doing absolutely fantastic. How old are you, please?
26.
26. All right. Should I use the women's restroom?
I feel like it's a difficult question, and the reason why I feel like it's a difficult question is because we've got to bring science and biology into it, right? Like, it doesn't matter with looks, right?
Okay, I agree with that. It doesn't matter what you look like.
Right. You can look like that. You can look like this. But it comes down to having your own conscious awareness of knowing what you have down in your private area. And so it's like no one can force anyone to choose a bathroom. But if we are going to only have male and female bathrooms, I think it's safest to have what you were biologically born with to be the bathroom that you go to. And
okay, so,
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. I interrupted.
You know, I think it's interesting that we have these type of arguments because, or not arguments, it should be debates, but what happens is a lot of people end up arguing, and I think both sides are trying to eliminate confusion because we both want to be accepted, right? And I think it comes down to this emotional instability that has been formed within the people through the manipulation of, you know, our food and water supply, the things that we consume for very, very long time that have altered the biologic and the emotional stability of people. And I think that is where the issue comes in. And I think we constantly point the fingers at each other and take things so literal and so personal, right? When in reality, we all just want to be accepted. So let's really look at the root, the issue of where this comes from. Why do people, you know, are born into one biological sex and they feel like that's not who they are? Why is that the case? We can't deny people's feelings. We don't have the right to do that, right? Because we are all in our own perspective bodies that have individual spirits. The connection to each other is that acceptance, is that love. So we have to break the barrier of feeling inferior. And I think you doing this, you doing these type of lives, and there's plenty of other people that do this, it's breaking that barrier. So I do want to start there of saying, you know, having these discussions are very important, but it is tricky because when we really get down to the science and look at the research, biology showed up until the 1950s, late 1950s, mid 1950s, biology, I can't talk, sorry, but you get what I'm saying. Scientifically, the biology of a woman's pelvis area was significantly smaller than a man's pelvis.
Bob, do you mind if I interject real quick? Where are we going here? I've heard a lot of different points. What point would you like to make?
Yeah,
Because we can only address one point at a time. I can't address them all. I won't be able to track them all.
So which one stood out to you then?
You seemed to say that which restroom we use should be determined by our genitalia.
Say it again, I'm sorry.
If I recall, you said that the restroom that I use should be determined by what I have between my legs.
Yeah, I think that should be a moral conscious code that somebody is able to do themselves. I think it can't be forced. But for example, right, I go to Planet Fitness, okay? I go to the gym, Planet Fitness, whatever. And for me, I've always gone to Planet Fitness, always had this membership, always went into the locker room. And right, it's a men's locker room and a women's locker room. And in those locker rooms, you have the spaces with their locker rooms, and then there's a separate space for stalls and showers. And so I think it's interesting because I do remember recently having an encounter with two people, right? Two people that were clearly not female. And I think it raises an eyebrow because instead of going into a stall or, into a place where no one would even know or feel any type of instability with this other person, this male, right, in the room, they chose to be out in the open, taking everything off. So it was almost like you're putting yourself in the position to still be to still be judged, to still be put in a position of uncomfortability where it's like, I think
a few things to point. First of all, the topic was restrooms, not locker rooms, but locker rooms aren't that far away from restrooms.
yeah.
Second of all, is
in the locker.
You're saying this person undressed in front of you?
Yeah, like and dressed in front of everyone. And
okay,
I mean,
is that something that typically happens in that restroom? In that locker room?
It wasn't in the restroom. No, it had never happened before.
So nobody undresses in locker rooms in that locker room. Like that's not how.
What do you mean? No,
things are in that locker room.
I saw the man's genitalia. They chose to completely undress. They just
sure. So we can assume based on the fact that this person was in the women's restroom that they identify as a woman in the women's locker room.
Yeah.
So
that's they want to be socially accepted as a male. Or
is it typical?
As a man, but that's forcing your emotional state on other people, and other people might not be there.
Hang on, okay, my question is it typical for women to undress in this locker room?
Is it typical for women to undress? Oh yeah, because it's a women's locker room.
Sure. So you've seen the genitalia of other women in that restroom. In that locker room. I'm going to keep saying restroom, I know it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, then nothing out of the ordinary happened. What happened was a woman came into the women's locker room and undressed.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want to see genitalia, don't use a locker room where people are undressing.
Yeah, so that's
go change in the restroom. Go change in the shower.
That's where it gets tricky, and we don't have the same viewpoints on that, so that's okay. But that's where it gets tricky, right? I think the safety when it comes down to the literal statistics of how many women have been raped, have been manipulated.
We can't use the R word. We have to say grape, like the fruit grape.
Sorry. Oh, wow. Yeah. I'm sorry.
No problem.
I'm not on here that often.
It's all good.
These viewpoints because I study this type of things too, because I think everything is energetic. And I think if we really get down to the science of understanding why everyone's emotions are so we're so stuck in whatever emotion that we feel in the moment, and we uprise off of that. And it could be an emotion that's really eating us alive. You know, we choose to suffer instead of realizing that pain is inevitable. And so we try to put limits and regulations and try to change words and try to become these different people to make ourselves feel better. So let's get to the root problem. Let's start trying to figure out how we can make each other feel better without trying to force where we are emotionally in people's faces. Throwing it down people's faces is never going to work.
I don't. How is this related to the topic? If you could connect it to the topic, that would be awesome.
It's exactly related to the topic, and I think that's.
I'm just not seeing it. I just need a little help to get there.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. Biology goes into the science, and then that's when we get into statistics of why it matters for which restroom you choose, why it matters for any sort of type of gender questioning, right? Of what is. We're really, I think. You know, your argument is coming from, am I worthy? But that's not, if the opposing argument doesn't agree with that, it's not necessarily saying that you are not worthy, that you aren't good enough, right? And I think that's where I'm saying we got to start with the emotions and really understand each other, really get into, you see those words that I'm using, understanding, accepting, those are eagle-eye view emotional states. Those are states that are so in our body and so perspective that we get lost in what we see, right? And we have to.
What are we seeing related to the topic?
I'm literally speaking on it. And it's very interesting when I go into the science and really get into the statistics. This is about the third live and only the third live I've been in because I don't have enough followers to have my own live. That people kind of rebuttal and go, well, this isn't about the topic, but it is about the topic. Let's really get into it. Let's get into it. Let's really get into the fact that, you know, during the 1950s, atrazine, these different pesticides were put into our food to have a longer produce that caused people to have different mindset of, oh, I have more estrogen, I have more testosterone, so this is why I'm a woman, I'm a man. The problem.
Can you provide me with a study that links these two things?
Yeah, and when I do, I can absolutely DM it to you, but I have all of this written down.
I would need it here right now. In order to continue down that line, I would need it here right now so that I can look at it as well.
Do you see how you're kind of pressuring I don't want you to pressure that I have to prove anything to you, right? A debate is having different viewpoints and really.
You're making a claim. It's up to you to back that claim.
Yeah, no.
You're making this a claim between pesticide usage in the 50s to transgender people now.
Say it again, because there's an article.
Sure.
You can literally look it up. There's plenty of research showing that people have exposed the amount of chemicals from pesticides and stuff in our food and water that they've been plundering in since the 1950s, and they doubled down in the 1980s.
Right. I need you to link that to being transgender somehow.
Well, that's where we get this transgender from. That's where we get these people that.
Sure, I need you to provide that source for me.
They're lost in their.
Either you have to provide that source, or we have to move on and make a new point.
It's not their fault, which I think is interesting when I really get down into the facts. I think, and you're writing things down, I think you might be someone that studies in a different way, and I think you're writing down and you're getting stats for people to see how far into really understanding what's really going on. How far are people in really understanding and really getting it? And I think people get it, but they aren't willing to really study and really go into the science, right? And I think the science of it is going into the spirituality of why all things should be accepted and all things work together.
I don't think that all things should be accepted.
It's in a moral code, and that's what I'm saying. It's in a moral code, and the moral code comes down to understanding emotional state, understanding energy and how it forms and how.
I have to interject here, Bum. I have to. I'm sorry. I have to cut you off here because you've made You've made a significant claim and you don't have the evidence to back it up. So we have to move on to another point because that point. We would just be talking about a hypothetical, about a possibility.
It's not a hypothetical. How about we look up the major one, atrazine? You can look it up right now. There's not an exact article because that's one of the main pesticides. So I'm giving you a name, right? So there's a research that you can do on your own time.
Okay,
I'm not going to do it.
No. We're doing this here. We're doing this here right now.
Go ahead.
What's it called?
Okay, I don't want to.
What's it called?
Anything. atrazine, so it's spelled A-T. Let me go to it. Oh my goodness, sorry. Pages and pages and pages of notes.
Atrazine, A-T-R-A-Z-I-N-E.
A-T, oh, you might have got there faster. Lord, I'm flipping, hold on. Atrazine, A-T, or A-Z, A-Z, you were right, hold on. Oh my gosh. Well, thanks for your patience. I'm like, why can't I find it? Hold on, it's right.
I'm seeing a conspiracy theory around this.
Well, I don't like to use the word conspiracy theory because then that word conspiracy, when we get into etymology and understanding words and what they really mean, conspiracy is already me devaluing the truth that I know to be, that I know, you know? So I'm not going to use that word. But atrazine, yeah. So A-T-R-A-Z-I-N. Is that how you spelled it?
A-T-R-A-Z-I-N-E, I think.
We can go for that. I don't have an E written down, but hey.
Atrazine. Okay, so yeah, I have
Second
a bit
most
here.
widely used pesticide chemical since the 1950s, and that's when we started seeing the genome of how and what we considered male and female started to change in the 1960s, 1980s specifically, and it was because they've been manipulating our food and water. They've been off the chain trying to get us against each other for the longest, and it's not even 1950s. We can go all the way back, really, if we really want to have a history lesson, but that's not what the topic is about. But I really think we do have to get into science. We really do have to get into things.
Sure, I agree. We have to get into science,
personal,
but
yeah. So
two things. One, right here is saying that the scientific consensus disagrees with this theory that atrazine is related to having gender dysphoria, and two, even if that was true, that wouldn't make transgender people less valid.
So, can you say that one more time? I'm sorry, I'm in the comments.
Sure. The scientific consensus currently is that atrazine, that there's not enough evidence to link atrazine to gender dysphoria or sexuality.
Well, that's right.
Nonetheless,
go ahead.
And nonetheless, even if you could prove to me right now that atrazine has led to an increase in the amount of transgender people, that would not make transgender people less valid. So even if you can prove the link,
when it's a value, because I'm not saying anybody's less valuable. I'm literally stating that.
Right, I'm not saying that either. I'm saying valid, which is different. Valid would mean when I claim that I am a woman, that is a valid statement. When someone claims that I am not a woman, they are saying that I am invalid when I say that I am a woman.
Yeah, so do you see how you went ahead and you went and researched and you found something that proved your side, right? You needed that evidence to prove your side. And there's plenty of articles and there's plenty of things that aren't going into conspiracy and twisting things into making them not truthful, because we can sit here and do that all day. But when you really research and not go on Google, I don't use Google. I actually use a different.
Google is a tool, not a source.
Yeah, but I don't use Google to search because we know Google filters things through the government. It has a governmental kind of like filter. So, you know, we don't really want to use Google because you're not going to find the actual valid information.
Again, it's a tool, not a source. It brings you to the sources.
Yeah, no, it doesn't give you the right sources. What I'm saying, the sources are manipulated. What
is the right source then?
The sources are manipulated, and a manipulated source is not its original form, is it not?
Okay. So I'm going to stand by what I said, even if you could prove to me that atrazine is connected to an increase in the amount of transgender people, that still wouldn't be something that would invalidate trans identities, and that would not mean that trans people should not be using the women's restroom.
It would invalidate the fact that we've gone down the rabbit hole of having these discussions as if we are pointing the finger at each other instead of pointing the finger at the issue of our food and water supply being manipulated. You can't go around that. And I think that's the thing. It's like, I'm not going to sit here and
No, that's a separate issue. That is a separate issue. It is not related to being transgender. We can work on both issues at the same time, for sure, no problem. But the fact that major corporations are dumping chemicals into the water and using pesticides that are harmful and stuff like that doesn't impact transgender rights.
It is, because it goes into the emotional stability of people, and transgender rights believe
transgender people are you're now making the claim that are you making the claim that transgender people are emotionally unstable? Rar, thank you.
Interrupt me. Hold on.
Because you ramble, Bomb Beauty.
You're interrupting.
You ramble. Right, yes, I am interrupting because you ramble.
Literally speaking on the truth. I literally speak the truth. It has nothing to do with my own personal view, because evidence shows otherwise against my own personal view. And that's what I'm getting at, as our emotions want to prove. We want to prove and have evidence of how our emotions are more right, and you have to accept how I feel, and you have to accept my stance on what I think, and that's what I mean. Our emotions are not stable when we get into that mind frame, and that's where we get into having transgender, where people want to change their genitalia and want to alter their body because they don't feel that they're in the right body. Why don't they feel that way? Well, that's what I just explained. So it's
because we have gender dysphoria.
And it's not their fault that they have gender dysphoria. So
it's not our fault. It doesn't make us less valid.
I went into at the very beginning. I said we can't deny these people, because at the end of the day, it's not their fault. But let's really get into the evidence. Let's really get.
There is no Bomb Beauty. There is no fault. We just exist. Nobody is at fault for trans people existing.
No, and that's not that's not true. You think everybody believes that? I think that's why we have these type of arguments.
Okay.
That's the problem.
This is why you need to have evidence to back up your claims. Because you're making a claim that is dangerous.
It's not.
You're saying that transgender people are created, and not that we just exist.
Everyone is created. So, I mean, I agree.
Created by something other than natural birth is what I mean.
It's not that natural birth is birthing a human, so you are naturally birthed, but at the end of the day, just like there's disorders, right, just like there's other disorders, just like there's different things that happen with different people, that you end up having different emotional states, right? That's what I'm getting into. It's just a different emotional state, and and that's what we have to agree on, that it has to do with our emotional states being manipulated from birth. It doesn't make you any less human.
I feel like we've gone in circles now. You don't have the ability to bring me sources. Do you have a different point you'd like to make?
I mean, if you also, because I think I didn't state, and
I've lost your connection.
To sit there and assume that I'm trying to work around anything. So, I mean, I think unisex bathrooms, I was on another live with another gentleman that's completely considers himself transgender. And we came up with the idea of, why don't you just have, everybody has individual stalls. There is no man or female. You just have a whole stall system, and you go into that individual stall, and that's your restroom. I don't got a problem with that. That's what I'm saying. It has
to I support unisex bathrooms.
Emotional state of mind. And if we can correct and balance and harmonize.
No, which bathroom we use has nothing to do with our emotions, Bomb. Okay. The system, I support gender neutral bathrooms. Hang on. I support gender neutral bathrooms 100%. But when I go into an establishment that only has men's restrooms and women's restrooms, which restroom should I use? I've lost your connection again.
We're forcing this debate. I've already disagreed.
I'm not forcing this debate.
Male and female is a safe issue.
Sure, I agree with you, Bomb. I literally just agreed with you that I support gender-neutral bathrooms. But if I go into an establishment and all they have are men's restrooms and women's restrooms, which restroom should I use?
It's glitching, so I think I'm getting your response late. Also, so it's making it seem like.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. I understand that. That's not a problem. So my question to you is, if I go into a restroom that only has a men's restroom and a women's restroom, which one should I use? Thank you for the lemonade.
I would say if you are physically able to do harm, like if you're physically more stronger than a female, like, and you have that type of stature, I'd rather just go into the males. Now, I have heard that men that try to do that, they get like abused and stuff like that. So it's like, let's just do the separate bathroom thing. Why are we even discussing this?
Okay, so this is a first. I haven't heard this argument before. Your argument is that which restroom you use should be dependent on how strong you are.
Because I think, again, it goes into the science. I mean, I'm saying literally a male has a stronger build, even down to
do all males have stronger builds?
Bigger. Yeah,
do all males
until you start using things that alter?
That's not what I asked. That's not what I asked. Do all males?
Yeah.
Do all males are all males stronger? Thank you for the crown. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
I'm sorry, my signal. Can you say that one more time?
Yeah, no problem. Are all males stronger than all females?
I mean, that's a strong claim. I wouldn't know.
Right, of course. So we're not going to segregate bathrooms based on who's strongest and who's weakest, right?
Well, scientifically, I guess you could say, sorry, now I'm thinking. Scientifically, yes, you could say that's the case, right? That's energetically, emotionally, scientifically, because emotions are energy and motion. So I'm still talking about energy. I'm still talking science. I'm still talking about statistics that show literally our pelvis are different shapes. Literally our bones are statured at different states. So before you start taking, things that alter and manipulate your emotional and physical being into becoming more of a woman or a man, you do have that geno of strength. You have that. And so, yeah, I would say a male born as a man, male man, they're going to be having a stronger build. Now, if you
typically, but not always, right?
Alter yourself. Well, I think
you're answering a question that I'm not asking. I'm not asking about hormones. I'm not even asking about transgender people right now. I'm just asking, are all males stronger than all females? Thank you for the lemonade. Guys, keep those gifts coming. 100% of the gifts I received today are going to a family in Gaza.
I would say, yeah, based on science, 100%. I would say based on science, yeah. Based on science, yes.
So your claim is that all males are stronger than all females?
Yeah, I mean, now if
that's
a woman
wild.
Rose and she's sitting there and she's sumo wrestling and doing all that from birth, no, but I'm saying that's subjective. That goes down to perspective. That goes down to experience. That goes into, again, that's the same thing I can say for men and women, whoever that choose to pills and I'm saying scientifically proven when you're born, and if you're a male or a female, you are scientifically proven to be stronger stature just because your bones, your chemistry is built to sustain differently as a woman. And vice versa.
Okay,
it's just
you're
based on the energy. That's based on science.
There are females that are stronger than males. Straight up, there are females that are stronger than males because not all males are strong and not all females are weak.
Okay, that's great. That's a great switch to have. I definitely think, based on science, once again, that
all right, the connection's too bad, Bomb. I am going to move on. I'm sorry. The connection's too bad. You have a good day. That connection wasn't happening. At least we were on a new topic. Okay. All right. 1 second here, guys. Okay, this is the family right here. This is the family that I've adopted. 100% of the gifts that I received today are going to help this family get out of Gaza, get to safety, and so that they can continue their education. So help me out, guys. Let's fundraise for them. They're raising 30,000 euros. When I started this, they were at 778 euros. We're in this for the long haul. We really got to help these guys out as much as we can. So please, guys, doesn't matter if you agree with me, doesn't matter if you disagree with me, we got to come together for these people. We got to come together and help get them out of Gaza. 100% of the gifts that I received today will be donated to this GoFundMe, and I will post the receipts both in my Patreon and in my Discord. Thank you for the gifts, everyone. Appreciate you all. Thank you for the lemonade.
Hi.
Hello, Elvira.
Yes, Elvira. Hi.
How old are you, please?
I am 41 years old.
41. Fantastic. How are you today?
I'm doing well. I actually think that you're very mature, and I've seen you in other videos before, and that's the reason why I can feel that I can tell you exactly how I feel without being judged or being misinterpreted. So I really appreciate your the way that you are in every one of your videos because you're very mature.
Thank you. I try.
So the question that you're asking, right, to go straight to the question, is should you use a woman for a men's bathroom? Is that the question?
Yes.
Okay. So in my opinion, I feel that if you're not a female, you should use the male bathroom. And that is not to offend anybody. That's just an opinion. And again,
Okay.
there are going to be so many people with different opinions. But the thing is that I respect you so much because you have such a level of maturity about this whole topic that is so controversial. And I really want to say thank you for that. And yes, the question is straightforward. It's straightforward, yes. If you're a male, you should use a male bathroom. And that is just my opinion. What do you think about that?
Okay, so what country are you from, if you don't mind me asking?
I am from the Dominican Republic.
Dominican Republic. Okay, fantastic. So my knowledge of culture in the Dominican Republic is limited. I can say that where I am in New England, the United States, we don't have male and female restrooms. We have men's restrooms and women's restrooms, and those are gender-based terms. Thank you for the lemonade, everyone.
So you wouldn't
yeah.
get offended if I said that you had to use the male bathroom because you were born a male, or does it offend you? Well, how do you feel?
How do you intend to determine if I'm male or female?
Well, I thought that you were a male.
Sure, but if we just happen to be at the same store, we just happen to both be going to the bathroom at the same time, how would you know what sex I am? How would you know if I'm male or female?
Well, you look like a male to me, but then again, I could be wrong. I look like a male
Sure.
sometimes. I mean, how can I say who looks like what? So then again, I could be wrong about what I'm saying. I don't want to offend anyone again. It's just, it's interesting to me, the topic of the conversation. And I wanted to hear how you feel. Because, it's a lot of people have a lot of opinions. And I think that some people can be offensive. But it's not to be offensive. This is just my opinion. It's me saying that, to me, you look like a man. And again, I could be wrong. I could look like a man to you too.
Sure, that's the point, though. That's the point here. Thank you for the lemonade. Whether someone looks like a man or looks like a woman is subjective. It's going to be different to everyone.
Okay.
But there's no right way to look like a woman, and there's no right way to look like a man.
Okay.
Right? I think we can agree on that.
I think we can agree on that because that is the truth. But there are some, for example, I've been told I have a masculine figure, for example, and I am a woman, a biological woman. So how would you know if,
Thank you.
because I don't have a big butt or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like things like that. It's not to offend, again, you or anyone. To me, you look like a man. Is it bad? Do you feel bad by me saying that? That's a beautiful cat.
So, thank you. If we were just strangers, like meeting each other for the first time, sure, I would be offended by that. But because we're in this space, we're in a space where we're talking about transgender matters, no, I don't find it offensive. But So we can agree though that there are some women who wants to look masculine. There are some men who wants to look feminine. Rawr, thank you.
Are you male or
Right?
female?
I'm genotypically male.
Okay, so that's what I was saying. That it's not to offend anyone, like I said. It's just my opinion. So yeah, I think that if you're a male, you should use the male bathroom because that's the question that is being asked. A lot of people want to go around and say all these things like the other. I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend the other lady, but she was going around and around about the water and this and that. Nonsense. I mean, like go to the straight to the question. You're asking a question. The question is, should you use the women or the men's bathroom? So I'm saying, if you're a man, you should use the men's bathroom.
Sure, I would agree that. I would typically agree that if you're a man, you should use the men's restroom. If you're a woman, you should use the women's restroom. I am a woman.
Okay. But you said you were born a man, or no?
No, I was assigned male at birth. Terms like male and female and intersex, they refer to your reproductive functions. So yeah, I had male reproductive functions at birth. But my gender, which is psychosocial, is woman. Thank you for the hand heart.
Okay. So that is where the confusion comes to a lot of people that may not know this type of themes or topics because we don't know. And so if you were to ask me, I would say men. But then again, if you are a woman, it's no offense. It's no offense to anyone. I'm sorry if I am offending anyone. I just want to be straight to the question.
Sure, I appreciate people being open about their stance.
Yeah.
So why do you think that I'm not a woman?
No, I just feel that you're very mature. When I know your videos, I've seen you before and again. I think that you are a man, right?
One second, I have a message I have to send real quick.
Okay.
Okay.
Meaning that you have no genitalia, or is that what? I mean, that's what I mean.
My cat is driving me crazy. Could you repeat your question, please? Now that I'm a little more focused.
I'm just saying because you're a man, right? Are you a man? Were you born a man, or like you said, you were assigned men at birth?
Sure, I was assigned male. Male and man are they talk about different things.
Okay.
The term male refers to our reproductive functions, and man would be our gender, and gender is in our head.
Okay. All right. Well,
So you can be male and you can be male down here, but be a woman up here.
okay. You know what? That's a great way to explain it. And you know what? I trying to disagree with you. I just want to say, you asked the question, and I was just giving you an answer. I mean, going around the bush, I think is wasting your time. So, like you asked, should you use the women or the men bathroom, or the male or female bathroom? I'm sorry. I think you should use the male bathroom, if that is your question, because we have to go straight to the question, right? Instead of wasting your time, I would just say that without any type of offensiveness or anything like that.
I apologize. I have a quick matter that I have to address right now. Give me 1 second. Sorry.
That's okay.
It's distracting me, and I can't focus on the conversation. So just give me a moment.
It's okay. I appreciate you having me. And thank
No, I'm not kicking you. I just have to ask my mods a quick question.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So would you mind repeating a question?
No, it was a statement more than a question, because I said we have to go straight to your question so that we don't waste your time. The question is, should you use the women bathroom, right, or the male bathroom? And I think that you should use the male bathroom.
Right. Why should I use the men's restroom?
I think because if you have male genitalia.
How do you know what genitalia I have?
I don't know that. That is very stupid for me to say, I guess, because I don't know. But at the same
Right.
time-
We have no idea what the genitalia of the person next to us is.
Right, but I guess that's just my opinion, and because again, for the sake of your time and everything else and your respect, I think that it should be clear that everybody has their own opinion, and but without being offensive, yeah, I think that if your question is should you use the women's restroom, I would say no. I'm sorry if I'm being rude, but I don't mean to. That's just my response.
So, what do you think is going to happen if women are forced to use the men's restroom?
I don't think. You know what? I don't think. I don't think anything would happen. I don't think women should be forced to use the men's restroom if you're a woman.
Right, but transgender women are women, so forcing us to use the men's restroom is harmful to us.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm sorry. I just, I don't mean to make myself look stupid or anything. I just think that, I've seen your videos, but like I said, I think you're a man. And that is just my opinion, like I said, I hate to be rude to people, but it's just my opinion.
Guys, I need 10. I need 10. I'll be back. Thank you so much, guest. I appreciate you coming up.
The 6 weeks total before you can
Hi, can you hear me? Okay. Okay, I can't hear you, so I'm gonna drop that down. I'm gonna join again. Okay.
Hello? I cannot hear you. You guys can't understand me either, apparently. All right. You guys can hear me? Okay. All right. I lost the guest. That's all right. TikTok is full of glitches. All right. How you doing, Leia?
Fine, how are you?
Doing all right. How old are you, please?
21.
21. Fantastic. Should I use the women's restroom?
Are you a woman?
Yes, I am.
How?
You have a lot of static. Is there anything you can do about that?
Hello?
All right, now you sound good. No, the static's back.
Is that better?
No, you still have really bad static.
Let me try and move somewhere else.
All right, chat says they can't hear it. It's just me. Okay. If it's just me, that's fine. I can live with it. Okay,
Hello?
so yes, how you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. So chat says they can hear you perfectly fine, so we're good. We're good. What was your question?
My question is, how are you a woman?
I have the innate sense of self of a woman.
Sorry, say that again.
It's my innate sense of self. It's that truth deep within me.
What makes you feel like you're a woman? How can you tell from your brain that you're a woman if you were born a man?
Sure. So gender identity typically develops fully by the age of 7 years old, typically. And mine just happened to develop in a manner that was incongruent with my biological sex. So even though I am male, my gender developed into that of a woman.
But what in your head tells you you're a woman? Like, why did you feel like you're a woman?
My hypothalamus. Gender identity develops in the hypothalamus. So my hypothalamus is telling me I'm a woman.
But what specifically is it telling you the reason why you're a woman? Like, why did you feel like you're a woman?
It's just how my brain developed. It developed into a woman. There isn't a specific thing. It's not the fact that I like long hair. It's not the fact that I like to wear makeup. It's not the. God damn it! Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, it's not the fact that I like to wear feminine clothing or anything like that. It has nothing to do with genitalia or breasts or anything.
Okay, I just don't get how you can know you're a woman if biologically your brain is a man's brain and you have biologically.
Well, how do you know? How do you know that my brain is a man's brain?
Hormones. Sorry, say that again.
How do you know that my brain is a man's brain?
Because you were born a male, and male and female brains are different.
Right, but how do you know what my brain looks like?
Because
I don't even know what my brain looks like, so how do you know?
Because biologically you're a male.
Sure, I'm genotypically male. I don't deny that, but my genotype doesn't tell you about my brain sex.
No, but we know from science and psychology that the male and female brain is different.
Sure, yeah. There is typically a difference between a male and a female brain. So how do you know which brain I have?
Because you were born a male, so therefore you have a male brain.
Okay. So just because I was born with some male sex characteristics doesn't mean that all my sex characteristics are male.
Okay, what sex characteristics do you have that are female then?
Definitely my genitalia, definitely my hormone levels. I'm uncertain about my neurological sex as I've never had it tested. I don't have gonads, and my genotype is likely male, but not guaranteed.
Okay, when you say your genitalia, I think that's quite a private thing to get into, but I did see your account that you had bottom surgery. So naturally, though you weren't born with female genitalia, that was a surgery that you got.
But so it may be true that I wasn't born with the genitalia that I have, but I do have a vagina, and vaginas are female sex organs.
I don't agree that you have a vagina.
Can you tell me what a vagina is, so that we're on the same page?
Well, girls are generally born with one. I get that you got surgery to kind of give it the appearance of one, but it's not the same as actually having one and having a womb.
Sure. So you're saying that it's not the same. So what's different?
What do you mean? What's different?
What is different with my vagina compared to a typical cis woman's vagina?
It's been constructed surgically, so it's not natural.
Okay. I would argue that my flesh and my muscles are natural and that they were not constructed in some lab. They were rearranged by surgery. But my question earlier was, what is a vagina? And a vagina is the muscular tubing that typically leads to a cervix.
Yeah.
Right, and that's what I have. I have muscular tubing that leads to where a cervix would typically be.
Do you have a cervix?
I don't, but do all cisgender women have cervixes?
No, they don't.
Right, that's why I use the word
I don't-
typically.
Okay, but you were just using the argument that a vagina is a vagina because it leads to a cervix, and you were saying
Typically
and then-
leads to a cervix. Typically.
Okay, but I don't think you can compare yourself as a trans woman or whatever to a biologically born woman that wasn't born with a cervix, because her experience is going to be different to yours. Can I just ask, when
Sure.
did you transition? When did you start transitioning?
I don't think that's relevant. If you're talking about medical transition, when I was 33.
Okay, yeah, this is another point, but we can finish talking about this. But I personally don't think, like, whatever you have done there is not my business, and I don't want to get into that. But your vagina isn't a natural vagina, so
Whether it's natural or not isn't relevant. It still meets the criteria for being a vagina.
I don't agree.
Okay, did you know that some cisgender women are born without vaginas?
Probably very rare cases, but
It doesn't matter how rare it is, it still happens.
what is the relevance?
The relevance is that you don't have to be born with a vagina to be a woman. And you don't have to be born with a vagina to have a vagina. You can get surgery to get a vagina, whether you're male or female. Thank you for the cat laws.
Okay, so according to like your logic, can any man in the world say that he's a woman and we have to
No.
agree that he's a woman? Why not?
Because you have to be transgender. For a male to be a woman, you have to be transgender.
Okay, because some people think that you can identify as whatever you want, but do you not agree with that?
I don't. I've never claimed that anyone can identify as anything.
Well, we agree on that because I think you shouldn't really say you're trans if you're making no attempt to pass, because I think that's the problem with trans women using the bathrooms, is that women aren't going to feel safe if they can see it's clearly a woman. However,
How can they see that someone is clearly not a woman?
because we as humans can just tell people's gender. It's just part of how
Typically, we can make educated guesses.
We know someone's gender generally by their facial features and their facial structure.
Generally,
voice.
yep. But are there women with masculine features?
Yeah, but you can usually still tell if they're women. Like, if I'm out in public, I very rarely see someone that I'm like, I have no idea what their gender is. Like, you can usually tell.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, go on.
But you're saying that rarely you can't tell, but sometimes you can't. So there are times that you can't tell what a person's gender is just by looking at them.
Very rarely.
What bathrooms should those people use?
Whatever bathroom is their sex, whatever bathrooms work. That's why we have gendered bathrooms. But what do you think, like, do you appreciate and understand that women and young girls don't feel safe with a trans-identifying woman coming into their bathroom who
No, we're not doing this trans-identifying thing. Trans women are women. You can call us trans women if you want to.
But you just
we're not doing this
said that
trans-identifying thing.
But you just said that not every man can identify as trans unless he is trans. But there's been cases where men who clearly look like men have gone into women's bathrooms and have like it has happened where they've assaulted women. It has happened.
So a man went into a women's restroom and broke the law, caused harm.
Yeah.
What do you think should happen to that man?
Well, obviously arrested for sexual assault.
Sure. Yep. Agreed. We already have rules against assaulting people. So when someone does that, they should be arrested.
But if any man can go into a woman's bathroom, that puts the women at risk.
What's stopping a man from going into the women's restroom right now?
Because it used to be that if you see a man going into a woman's bathroom, people are like, what are you doing here? But now you have to just accept it. and just accept.
Do you think that
whatever
trans people that don't pass aren't challenged?
No, but you're changing the subject. What do you think of what I just said?
I think that you are punishing innocent trans people for the actions of an unrelated demographic.
I do agree that there are trans people that don't want to cause any harm and just want to live their lives, and that people are putting a bad name on them. But it is the case that people are saying they're trans and using women's safe spaces.
So yeah, that's definitely a thing that has happened. It's not common, but it does happen. I cannot deny that there have been men who have pretended to be women and gone into the women's restroom and caused harm. Is that an issue for transgender people to solve, or is that an issue for cisgender men to solve?
Well, it's the issue for the people that are using the excuse that they're trans to access women's safe spaces.
Okay, let's say, Lena, that, how about this? If someone dresses up like you and then commits a crime, are you responsible for that crime?
No, because it's a separate person.
Exactly. So when someone pretends to be trans and then commits a crime, is that a trans person's problem?
I didn't say it was trans. I said that there are lots of trans people that have no bad intentions and just want to live the life that they feel, the gender that they feel they should have been born with. I don't think trans people should be punished, but I think you should take into account that for centuries women have fought for rights and fought for safe spaces, and women did have safe spaces like locker rooms and bathrooms, and they don't anymore.
Bathrooms are not safe spaces.
Yes, they are.
Bathrooms are a place to go relieve yourself. They're not a place for safety.
I don't agree with that.
I would argue that it is safer for a woman to use a women's restroom than it is for a woman to use a man's restroom. Would you agree?
Sorry, say that again.
I would argue that it is safer for a woman to use a women's restroom than it is for a woman to use a man's restroom.
So you mean transgender women?
No, I didn't. That's not what I said. I said woman. I would argue that it is safer for a woman to use the women's restroom than it is for a woman to use the men's restroom. Do we agree?
I know that you're trying to catch me out here, so...
It's constantly what I'm trying to do. My goal is to get people to change their mind.
Okay, you're not going to change my mind, but
then why are we talking? If you're unwilling to change your mind, why are we talking?
What? So your aim is to have everyone think the way you think?
My aim is to get people who think that trans women do not belong in the women's restroom to change their mind. Yes.
I'm just listening to your point of view.
Okay, is it possible to change your mind?
Are you going to kick me out of the live if I say that it's not possible to change my mind?
Yes, I will. If you're not here with an open mind, then no, you don't belong here.
Why don't I belong here?
Because you're disingenuous. If it is not possible to change your mind, then there's no point in having you up here. Thank you for the hand hearts.
Well, no, we're just having a discussion.
Okay. All right, we got plenty of people in requests, guys, so there's going to be no shortage of debates. Everyone keep tapping that screen, share the live, please. And please remember that 100% of the donations that I received today are going to a family in Gaza. Let me show you who they are. This is the family right here. They are currently trapped in Gaza. They are trying to fundraise 30,000 euros so that they can get out, so they can get to safety, and so they can continue their education. So let's help them get their goal, guys. 30,000 euros. And we got a long haul in front of us. This is not going to be an easy fundraiser. 100% of the gifts that I received today are going to this family in Gaza to help them get out, to help them get to safety. So help me out, guys. Send some gifts. If you don't want to send gifts because TikTok takes a cut of the gifts, click on my bio right up here, click on my link tree, and you can go directly to their GoFundMe in my link tree. You can also also check out the most recent video on my page, which also talks about the family in question. So yeah, doesn't matter if you disagree with trans people, doesn't matter if you agree with trans people, doesn't matter if you are transgender. I need everyone to come together on this. Thank you so much for the hand arts. Send gifts, and if you don't want TikTok to get a cut, go to my bio, click on the link tree, and donate directly to the GoFundMe. I will be posting all my receipts both to my Discord and to Patreon. The Patreon post will be for free.
Hello.
Hello, Joe. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing all right. How old are you, please?
26.
26. Fantastic. Should I use the women's restroom?
No.
Why not?
Because let's go back to your previous live. You said about how can you tell to begin with that you are a man, male, whatever you want to call it. So you've got facial structure, everything. We'll just come away from scientific and we'll go to common sense for a minute. 9 times out of 10, 9.5 times out of 10, you can tell if someone's a man or a woman. Do you agree or not?
Sure, I would agree that we can typically look at someone and make a correct assumption about their gender.
Because, don't get me wrong, you do get anomalies, but at the same time, some people are born with one leg. That doesn't mean that not the majority of people don't have 2 legs. So if my...
But that actually, I love when people... Sorry, I interrupted. I interrupted.
If my daughter, girlfriend, mother, whoever it was, went into the toilet and you followed, would I be in the wrong for questioning you on that and not being happy about it?
Yeah, it would be problematic of you to question me for using the women's restroom.
Why would that be? Well,
because I am a woman. Because I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just a woman.
You was born with male genitalia.
I look like a male. So you understand that expecting people to look a certain way is a problem, right?
Well, it's not necessarily how you look. It's more so what you was born as.
What was I born as?
A man, a male. Whatever you say about gender, sex, it's nothing to do with how you think. It's a fact. You're born a man or a woman.
There's also non-binary people. Let's not forget them.
No, you see, I think this is why we probably won't agree, because we live in a world where everyone feels like they can debate everything and there's always another way, but some things in life you just can't.
Of course we can debate everything. Why can't we debate everything?
Well, you can debate, but it will never come away from the true, scientific fact that there is only a man and a woman. There's no different gender, there's no different sex. You can't... If I wake up one day and say I feel like a dog,
but there is another sex. Intersex people exist.
So, do you not... You see, this is where I'm trying to be PG. I'm trying to be not PG, what's the word? Just not be argumentative with you. I just feel like, as a man, it's my responsibility to look after the females in my life. And if my sister, girlfriend, mother went into a toilet and... Sounds
misogynistic.
Woman goes into the toilet after, I'm fully within my rights.
Wait, did you say as a man it's your job to look after the females?
100%, and this goes back to toxic.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. You describe yourself with your gender, but you describe women by their sex. That's dehumanizing.
Gender and sex is the same. I'm sorry, but it is.
They quite literally have different definitions. They talk about different aspects of the human experience.
Right, okay. See, so right, everything I say, you can't. So you question me on something. Because a lot of people in this chat agree with me here, so I want you to ask me a question, try and catch me out.
That's an ad populum fallacy.
What?
Appealing to the general population to determine what is or isn't right.
It's not. I know full well what is and isn't right. It's just people try too much to, what's the word?
So why are sex and gender the same thing?
Because a man, a woman, a female, a male, whatever it is, if you're born with a penis, you are a man, male, he, him, whatever it may be. If you're born with a vagina, you are a woman, a girl, a lady, a she, a her.
What if you're born without genitalia?
Well, that goes back to what I said about anomalies. Some people are born with one leg.
No. We're not calling people anomalies.
No, it's the same. Some people are born with one leg. It does not mean people have two legs, does it? Does it make that incorrect?
Yeah, when people make that point, it defends my position. When you say that some people are born with one leg, even though it's typical to be born with two legs, yeah, both people that are born with one leg and people who are born with two legs are human, regardless of the fact that one was born atypically. So sure, it is atypical for someone to be born without a penis and be male, but sometimes it happens. Sometimes males are born without penises.
So does that mean male and female hormones are just irrelevant in this situation then?
I'm not saying, if we're talking about bathrooms, sex is irrelevant completely.
Because like you say, facial structure, bone structure, your build, even your voice, all things relate to your gender, sex, whatever you want to call it.
Your voice doesn't relate to your gender. Your voice relates to your sex.
Well, I have never heard someone who was born female with a voice as deep as yours.
It's rare, but there are women with deeper voices than mine.
What, who are cis females, you like to call it, who are trans?
Yeah, cisgender women who have deeper voices than mine.
Are you sure about it? Because women have lower
Positive,
than men.
absolutely. There's 8 billion people on this planet. Approximately half of them are women. I don't have the deepest voice of all women.
So what's the scientific, like, numbers, facts, whatever you want to call it, that this is? Because you're the one who always comes back to facts and evidence. So where's the evidence on this?
You want evidence of women with deeper voices than mine?
No, I'm saying that everything everyone else says, you always ask for evidence. So I feel like it's only right for me to come back and ask you as well.
Sure. Let's look up the woman with the deepest voice. It's something called contralto. I guess I was going to answer, but I guess I'm not answering now.
No, I know, but you'll understand why. Because the lady earlier on didn't have the evidence to hand, and you came at her for that because she was coming to...
What am I doing right now, Joe? Joe got banned. TikTok banned Joe. All right. Unfortunately, that also means that I got a violation, so I got to reset. Be right back, guys. Be right back. All right, we're back.
Hello?
Hello, Linda. How you doing?
Good.
How old are you, please?
20.
20. What year were you born?
I was born in 2004.
2004. Fantastic. Should I use the women's restroom?
No.
Why not?
Because you're a man.
What makes me a man?
Your voice, your Adam's apple, your genitals.
What genitalia do I have?
A penis.
A penis. Okay. How can you tell?
By your voice and by the way
my voice determines what genitalia I have.
Yes. Oh, actually, no.
Agreed.
No. But
what?
But it's still wrong to use the girls' bathroom.
Why is it wrong for me to use the women's restroom?
Because predators take advantage of this, and they could easily just put on a wig and say, I'm trans or I'm a woman, and they could easily go in there for bad purposes and be predators.
Linda, if someone were to dress up like you and commit a crime, would you be responsible for that crime?
No.
Right. So why are transgender people responsible for cisgender people's crimes? Thank you, Jay. Appreciate you.
I'm not saying they are. I'm just saying that transgender people like to debate about their rights, that
We don't like to, we have to.
why?
Because we're losing rights. And we have to stop losing rights.
I agree in that, but it's just wrong because, like, for example, I'm not really too like educated on the like Muslim, but let's say like a girl is in there and she like likes to fix up her hijabi, and then a trans man walks in there and sees them.
Okay, so are transgender people responsible for other people's religion?
No.
Right, I'm not. So if someone wants to practice their religion in a way that doesn't harm anyone, they can go for it. But their religion is their responsibility, not mine.
So transgender people should have their responsibility and use the man's bathroom because they are born a man.
Okay, why should I use the men's restroom?
Because you're a man.
What makes me a man?
I already answered it.
Right, you said my voice determines my genitalia or something along those lines, and then you conceded that you were wrong about that. So if it's not my voice, it's not my genitalia, what is it?
It's just the fact that you're a man.
What makes me a man?
Everything about you.
Everything about me makes me a man.
Yes.
So in order to be a man, you have to be like me?
Oh, no.
So there's other ways. A person doesn't have to be exactly like me in order to be a man.
That's true.
Yeah, so there are different ways to be a man.
Like,
you don't have to be just like me.
Well, no. Okay, so earlier.
Can you tell me what year you were born, real quick?
Sorry?
Can you tell me what year you were born, real quick?
2004.
Fantastic. Okay, I just wanted to make sure you weren't lying to me.
I'm not lying. It's just
Okay.
my voice.
Cool. That's fine. That's fine.
But okay, so earlier in the live you said that you got surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And you got surgery to have a vagina, right?
Sure. Yep.
So now you think you're a woman,
I was a woman before that.
but you were born a man.
I was assigned male at birth. I was not born a man. A man's an adult, first of all. Okay, you have a good one, Linda. Y'all go easy on Linda. Go easy on Linda. Gonna bring up the next guest right now, guys. One moment here. A reminder that this is a charity live for Palestine. 100% of the gifts that I received today are going to this specific family in Gaza to help them get out of Gaza, to get to safety and get to a place where they can continue their education. They are trying to raise 30,000 euros. If we could help them out, that would be absolutely amazing. Again, 100% of the gifts I receive will be donated to them after this live. I will post the receipts to my Patreon as well as my Discord. If you don't want to send gifts because TikTok takes a cut, click on my profile, click on my link tree, and there is a link to the GoFundMe in my link tree. Let's see. This is Shady Alkalax family. This is Shady Alkalax family. We are trying to help them get out of Gaza. God damn. I love my cat. I love my cat. I love my cat. So it doesn't matter if you if you support me. It doesn't matter if you're against me. We all need to come together and help out this family. They really need all the help they can get. This is going to be a tough fundraiser. They're nowhere near their goal. They've raised 778 out of the 30,000 euros that they need. So we got work to do here. I love my cat. Hello, Jalen.
Hello.
How old are you, please?
41.
41. Fantastic. Should I use the women's restroom?
Well, I would say yeah for now. Just specifically because you've had the bottom surgery. And I mean, all women can say when the women's restroom's full, I'm not going to lie, I went to the men's restroom. Like, when you gotta pee, you gotta pee. But my biggest thing was for, like, trans that haven't had the surgeries, going into the women's restroom and, like, my granddaughter or a younger girl in there, seeing that, I don't want to have to explain to them the difference because they've seen it in the women's restroom.
Seeing what?
Like the men's genitalia.
How many times have you been into a restroom and seen someone's genitalia?
Well, I live in Des Moines, Iowa. So here, quite a few of the restrooms or like the restrooms at like the gyms don't have doors. They're wide open.
That's gross. That should not be the case.
Yeah, and like Walmart's, they have doors on theirs, but a lot of our gyms don't have doors.
Oh, okay, we're talking about restrooms here. Do the
Yeah,
restrooms
but I mean the
where you live?
restrooms in the gyms don't have doors. But the restrooms at like Walmart
Again, we're
do.
talking about restrooms. We're talking about restrooms. Restrooms have doors.
Not all
right?
of them. Not all of them. That's what I'm saying. The restrooms at like workout facilities, the restrooms do not have
Okay, we're
doors.
talking about restrooms, not workout facilities.
There's restrooms in the workout facilities.
Sure, there are restrooms in workout facilities. There are restrooms in grocery stores. There are restrooms in
That's what I'm
department
saying.
stores.
Not all restrooms have doors.
Okay, so then maybe you should advocate for all restrooms having doors.
Okay, but that's not the point.
Hi, Tashika.
What I'm saying is,
the point is that trans women should be able to use the women's restroom. That's the point. We're not here to argue about whether or not restrooms should have doors. I think we can agree they should.
well, yeah, I mean, they should, but not if you have the male bottom part. Do you feel comfortable if you were in the women's restroom and a kid saw you?
I closed the door. Because there's doors on restroom stalls.
There's doors and there's gaps in the doors, and I mean,
those gaps shouldn't be there either. It's ridiculous that they are.
Yeah, and the women, I'm pretty sure some of the women in the chat can say their kids, when you're trying to use the restroom, are bending down or looking around, or I mean, they're 2-3 years old, and you're trying to connive them while you're going to the bathroom.
Whose fault is it if someone looks underneath a stall door?
They're kids.
Right, it would be the fault of the kid or the parent who's not paying attention.
I mean,
pay closer attention to your kids.
My kids are grown now, but I'm just saying, my
Fantastic.
grandkids, I mean, if you have the male bottom part, you might as well. I mean, I don't see why you feel uncomfortable using the male restroom.
So, a kid who looks underneath the stall is going to see genitalia that they shouldn't be seeing in the first place. It's not going to matter if it's male or female. They shouldn't be looking at anyone's genitalia.
Well, no, I agree with that. But I'm just saying, if you have the male genitalia, why do you feel uncomfortable then to just use the male restroom?
What genitalia?
I mean, we're just going in to go to the bathroom, wash our hands, and leave.
So my point here is we don't know what genitalia the person next to us has.
Correct.
Right. So if you don't know what the genitalia the person in the stall next to you has, why does it matter? Why does their genitalia matter?
I'm not really saying that it does matter. I mean, I really honestly don't care. I mean, once you've seen one, you've seen them all. But I mean, what does it matter what bathroom you're going to use if you're just going to the bathroom, washing your hands and leaving?
Exactly. It doesn't matter if you're just going in there to use the bathroom and wash your hands and leave. Why does it matter if trans women use the women's restroom?
And I'm not arguing with you there. That's what I'm saying. Me personally do not have a problem with you going to the restroom. I don't. Like, I don't really care. Like I said, I went into the men's restroom because I had to pee so bad.
So you support transgender people using the restroom of our identity?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't bother me.
Oh, fantastic. Awesome. Why are you arguing on behalf of people who disagree?
I'm saying I agree with both. Like, I feel I personally don't have a problem with
We're at odds here. There's no agreeing with both.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to argue with somebody that has a problem with it. I mean, if they don't want you in there, they don't want you in there. But at the same time, like, I'm telling them, if that women's restroom's full, I'm running over to the men's because I got to go. Like, it doesn't bother me. But, I mean, I see what everybody else is saying, too. Like, I guess I have an open mind. I could say. I mean,
fantastic. I'm glad you have an open mind. So, you do agree that I belong in that I should be able to use the women's restroom?
Yes, me personally, I feel that you could use the women's restroom.
Okay. Is there a scenario in your mind where it would be inappropriate for a transgender person to use the restroom of their identity?
I guess not at the moment. No, I mean,
okay. All right. Awesome.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know.
Okay. This sounds like progress. I'm not sure we're completely on the same page, but it sounds like progress.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm in a bathroom, let's say I'm in the bathroom, you're in the bathroom, and there's another woman in there, and she has a problem with you being in there. I'm not going to sit in there and stick up for either one of you. I'm going to go because that's between you all.
Fair. I won't ask people to jump in my defense. If you're not creating a problem for me, I'm not going to ask you to. I
just feel that, like, sometimes it's unsafe because, yeah, I have seen the dad or the husband follow a transgender into the female bathroom because his wife or transgender person because his wife or daughter was in there, and it didn't end good. So I feel it's
it didn't end good because that father assaulted someone.
Correct. So I feel that it's unsafe for you also because
the problem here is that a cisgender man inserted himself into a situation that didn't involve him, and he caused harm to an innocent person who was doing nothing wrong.
Correct.
That's the problem. Not the transgender person.
No.
The cisgender man who assaulted someone for using a restroom.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's unsafe. I feel that it's unsafe for you also.
Existing as a trans person is a dangerous thing. That is a true statement. We are 4 times more likely to be assaulted than cisgender people. Specifically, black transgender women are significantly more likely to be assaulted. So yeah, just the simple fact that we are transgender puts us at risk no matter where we go. But there is research that shows that transgender people who are forced to use the restroom that we do not identify with are in even more danger. So if I'm forced to use the men's restroom, I am at even more danger than I am just by default.
Correct.
Okay, awesome. It sounds like we're largely on the same page here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not, yeah. And, like, I agree with a lot of people in the chat. Like, we do need more instead of a unisex bathroom or, like, some of them have the family restrooms where it's just, like, 1 or 2 stalls and you can go in there by yourself and lock the door. I think we need a lot more of them because if those are at the mall, I'll use those before I will the women's restroom. I'll use the single stalls. I just feel the single stalls are more safe. You can lock them by yourself. There's nobody else in there.
Yep. Okay. So Jay, it sounds to me like we're pretty close here. Maybe not 100% there, but pretty close.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to let you go. Thank you for coming up.
Thank you.
All right. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. All right, we're going to bring up the next guest in just a moment, guys. First things first, just a reminder that we are raising money for Shady Alkalak and his family to help them get out of Gaza. They are trying to raise 30,000 euros. They are not even close to that goal. So we need as much help as we can get for this fundraiser, guys. 100% of the gifts that I received today are going directly to Shady and his family. You can also, if you don't want to send gifts because TikTok takes a cut, check out the link tree in my bio right up here. That will bring you directly to the GoFundMe, where you can just donate directly to the GoFundMe and send 100% of your donation directly to them. The GoFundMe reads: "This money is being raised for Shady Alkalak and his family, a Palestinian living in Gaza. Shady would like to evacuate with his family to a safer place and go somewhere where he can complete his education. Let's help him out, guys. Let's see how much money we can raise for this family." I will also be posting my donation receipts to both my Discord and to my Patreon. The Patreon post will be free, so anyone, whether you subscribe to me or not, you can check out my Patreon and see the post.
Hello?
Hello, how you doing?
I'm good.
How old are you, please?
Born '05. I'm 19.
Fantastic. Should I use the women's restroom?
No.
Why not?
Well, if I would see you personally, like, I wouldn't be comfortable.
Why would you not be comfortable?
Because if I'm a man and I put a wig on, am I considered a woman?
Nope. Your hair or lack thereof does not determine if you're a man or a woman.
Yes, but if I would see you, I wouldn't think you're a woman.
Why not?
You don't look like a woman.
So I think that that's a dangerous argument to make, requiring people to look a certain way. I don't think that there is a correct way to look like a woman. I don't think there is a correct way to look like a man. And it's dangerous to require people to look a certain way in order to be valid in their identity.
Yeah, but like, if you have voice like man, you look like man, like, I don't think you are woman.
So my voice is what determines which restroom I should use?
Not your voice. You don't look like woman. If some Muslim girl in bathroom, she see you, she will not think you're a woman.
Okay, the religion of the person is not relevant. There isn't a correct way to look like a woman, right? Like a woman can look like anything.
A woman can look
Kaylee.
like anything. What does that mean?
Can I jump in here?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. I mean, if you see my picture, would you be offended if I was in the women's restroom? Because I'm a woman with short hair.
No, because you do look like a woman and you sound like a woman, so I know you're a woman.
Well, without talking to me.
You still look like
I have got the double takes and the stares.
I can't click on your profile, but I see your profile picture. You look like woman, so I would not say you are not woman.
Okay.
Okay, but again, what does someone have to look like to be a woman?
Look like woman, like biological woman. Like if someone put wig and call himself woman, I don't know what to say. I don't look
right,
like.
Putting on a wig doesn't make you a woman, right? Because women can have long hair, women can have short hair, women can have short hair on one side, long hair on the other side, right? Like there isn't a right way to wear your hair to be a woman. Men can have long hair, men can have short hair, men can do side shaves.
Okay, but I didn't mean hair. I meant woman can have short hair, woman can have long, but it's about if you look like woman. I'm not saying hair, I'm saying overall, if I see you in street, I will not think you're woman, but it's not offensive. It's 95, maybe 99% of world's view. I'm just...
That's an ad populum fallacy. You're appealing to the general population to determine what is or isn't right.
But if you go to woman's bathroom and you have penis, so you don't belong in the woman's bathroom.
How do you know what genitalia I have?
You look like man.
Because so you're assuming what my genitalia is, even though you can't see my genitalia.
How you would have vagina if you look like man? Like, you would not be born with it.
Okay, so you're saying that because I look like a man, I have a penis.
Yes.
You're wrong. I don't. I do not have a penis.
Okay. Hey. Well, but how does it work? Do you do it like woman after you do the surgery?
I'm sorry, would you mind repeating the question?
Like, if you do the surgery, does it work the same as woman? Like, I wouldn't say, how are you a woman if you cannot have kids and you don't have womb?
Right. Womanhood isn't defined by the ability to have kids.
But how? Biologically, woman has kids. Woman has womb. Unless she has infertility issues, woman has womb. That's what makes woman.
Okay, I've had a full hysterectomy. Does that make me not a woman since I can't?
What's heterosexy? Can you explain, please?
Hysterectomy?
Yeah, can you explain, please?
It is when you have surgery to take out your uterus and ovaries, all of your childbearing organs.
Okay, but that doesn't change. Like, I mean, you are a woman that decided to get rid of it. Why? Because you don't want to have kids. That's okay. I'm not saying you're not.
No,
a woman.
I didn't decide. It wasn't a choice. It was because of a disease. But what you're saying to Adora is.
I'm not saying if you remove it that you don't have womb. I'm saying if you are born with it. If you are born with it, then you are a woman. If you're not, then you're not. But I'm not saying if you remove it because of disease, you are not woman. I never said that, but you know.
Mm-hmm.
Już nie wiedzieć, co mają powiedzieć.
Sorry, someone's trying to tell me how to pronounce the name of the people that I'm doing the fundraiser for, and I've lost the... Okay, there it is. Okay, fantastic. Would you mind repeating what you said?
Me or the person?
Were you making a point?
Can you become pregnant?
No, I don't think that whether or not a person can become pregnant determines what restroom they can use.
Not talking about restroom, but I'm saying what defines you as a woman. Can you become pregnant?
No, and I don't think that whether or not you can become pregnant determines whether or not you're a woman.
It does, because man cannot get pregnant, woman can get pregnant, but not offense.
That's actually not true either. Men can get pregnant. But again, just because someone is born female and identifies as a woman doesn't mean that they can get pregnant.
Okay, but can you show me study when man became pregnant?
Yeah, there are loads of men who have given birth to kids. I don't need studies. We have cases. I have friends here that follow me here that have given birth that are men.
How is that possible? Was he born with womb? How he get kids?
Yeah, he was born with a uterus, with ovaries, all that kind of stuff. Got flagged for hate speech. She got banned. I got flagged for hate speech. All right, we're gonna do a reset. Thank you for coming up, Kaylee.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
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 Don't forget, guys, please donate to the GoFundMe in my link tree in my bio. We are raising money for Shadi. I still can't pronounce. I'm gonna have to do a VC with my mods so they can help me learn how to pronounce this name. But yeah, I can't pronounce the name. It looks like Shady to me, but yeah. All right, guys, we're back. We have 42 more minutes of this live. $42 more minutes. Everyone tap the screen. Okay, so far we've raised a little bit over $112 for this Palestinian family that we are trying to help get out of Gaza. So I'm gonna see if we can get that up to 200. We got 42 minutes. I wanna see if we can raise another $100 for this family that we're trying to help get out of Palestine. 100% of the gifts that I receive in this live will be going to the GoFundMe that is in my link tree.
Hello.
Hello, Steffi. How you doing?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Doing all right. How old are you, please?
I am 32.
32. Fantastic. Should I use the women's restroom?
Absolutely. 100%.
Fantastic. Love to hear it. Awesome.
I commented a few times. I've been misgendered several times by people in bathrooms. What I want to say, and I'm going to try to skirt around it so you don't get banned. Every time I have been essayed, it has always been by not a trans person and not in a bathroom. So I could care less what somebody else is doing in a bathroom. I have never seen another person's genitalia in a bathroom in the 32 years I've been using public restrooms. Never seen anybody's genitalia in a gym. I've never, like I said, ever seen anybody's genitalia. What somebody's genitalia is doesn't matter to me. And I really think that people worry way too much about other people, you know, their genitalia. Like you mentioned before, I don't know what somebody's genitalia in the stall next to me is, nor do I care.
Exactly.
I feel like
Steph.
People always hide behind the, oh, well, people are going to do this and they're going to do that to pretend to, you know, go into bathrooms to assault women. And it's like, every time I've been assaulted, it wasn't in a bathroom and it wasn't by a trans person. So. Exactly.
Thank you, Steffi. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
All right. You have a good one.
You as well.
Bye. All right. Keep tapping, guys. Please consider sending galaxies any gifts at all. 100% of the gifts I received today are being donated to a family in Palestine. We're trying to raise another $100 in the next 40 minutes.
Hello.
Hello, Miss O'Hara.
Yeah, I'm 23. Sorry, because I know you asked people, so I just wanted to get out the way.
Fantastic. Appreciate that. Should I use the women's restroom?
I would have to say no.
Okay, why not?
Well, first, I just had a quick question. Would you be willing to debate Christy to raise funds for your fundraiser?
I have absolutely no interest in talking to Christy.
Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm doing very, very good. How about you?
Doing all right. How old are you, please?
I'm 18 years old.
And what year were you born?
I was born in 2005.
2005. Fantastic. Should I use the women's restroom?
I would say no, because I feel that it kind of intrudes women's space. Not because you identify as a woman, and that is totally fine, of course. And I totally respect that. And I think if you identify as a woman, that can mean you are a woman. But there's a lot of people that have different views on it. And I think just transgender people should have their own safe space to go to their own bathrooms.
Okay, so you want transgender people to have their own bathrooms?
Yeah.
So I love the sentiment there, but I think that's a problem. First, I want to say a quick thing here. Thank you so much to those who have sent cash apps. I don't know what my plan is for cash apps as far as the donations. For now, the ones that say Free Palestine or mention the Palestine fundraiser, absolutely, those are going to the fundraiser. But I don't have a solid plan in place yet for the cash apps that I receive. But the ones that I have received currently will go to the fundraiser, which does get us up to $30. So let me change that real quick. I apologize, guest.
It's totally fine.
Okay. So my argument would be that creating a transgender exclusive bathroom would actually put transgender people in danger, because there are transphobic people out there. Like, let's say I have a boss, and this boss is very, very transphobic. They talk openly about how they think trans people are gross. There's something wrong with trans people, that kind of stuff. I'm not going to want to come out to this boss. I got bills to pay. I've got I got to pay my bills, so I can't lose this job, and I can't tell this boss that I'm transgender. If I go to a place that has a transgender exclusive bathroom and my boss sees me come out of that bathroom, my transphobic boss now knows that I am transgender and I might be fired. Like, there's also the fact that we face higher rates of violence, and people who want to harm trans people will know exactly where to find us. So I think it is dangerous to have trans-exclusive bathrooms.
There wouldn't be like a sign of here's the transgender bathroom. It would be like the same as there's there's bathrooms for disabled people. Like, everybody use them because they don't have to like stand in line in the bathrooms for women and men.
Right. That's having a bathroom that's just for trans people is going to put trans people in danger.
Yeah. But it doesn't necessarily have to be just for trans people. It can be like both genders. But the other thing is, I think being a woman isn't just how you look or like how you view yourself or how your body looks. I think it's the way you have been raised from child. I think that a transgender woman, and this is no hate, will never have the same experience as a woman as someone that has been born a female.
Sure, yeah, that's why we have the words transgender and cisgender. There are differences between us. We have different bodies, we're socialized differently, we're treated differently. So sure, there's going to be differences between us, but we're still women.
Yes, I agree. But the thing is, because of how you have been raised from a child as a woman, you will have kind of a defense against males, and a lot of people do not feel safe when there are people that are born males intruding women's spaces, no matter how they identify. I searched up not long ago on the live. I wanted to see if there was any cases of people being raped by transgenders.
We can't use the R word. First of all, we can't use the R word.
Sorry.
We have to censor it.
The R word.
Second of all, it's transgender people, not transgenders.
Yeah, transgender people. I'm sorry. English isn't my first language.
That's fine. That's fine. You're good. No biggie.
But there are so many examples of people that have been disturbed in women's spaces and also men's spaces. This goes both ways. And
can you provide me data? Can you provide me a study?
Sure. I searched up. I'm gonna find it on my PC.
Okay, fantastic. While we're waiting, guys, we are raising money for a family in Palestine to help get them out of Gaza so that they can make it to safety and continue their education elsewhere. 100% of the gifts that I received today are going to this fundraiser. And for this live, at least, any cash app that I received that mentions the fundraiser or Palestine will also go towards this total. And I will be posting the receipt to my Patreon so that everyone can see it. That's for free on my Patreon.
Okay, if you go to WashingtonExaminer.com, you will find, for example, young girl is R-word in school bathroom by transgender peer.
So that would be an individual story. Rawr, thank you so much for the tiny diny. I don't deny that there are some bad transgender people, and transgender
Yeah, but
people who
they're
commit
bad.
crimes need
Yeah.
to be punished for that.
I think everyone that commits a crime like that should be punished, no matter
Agreed,
how they
100%.
identify. But the thing is, because of the things that happen, women won't feel safe. Either, like, there's so many people that don't like believe transgender are a thing. So a woman shouldn't be afraid, no matter what she believes, that a transgender woman is going to be in the bathroom.
So you're making the claim that cisgender women are in danger when transgender women are in the restroom. I need you to back that up with a study.
I don't say they necessarily are in danger, but I will say that they feel in danger.
So there's a difference between feeling in danger and
Yes.
being in danger. Transgender people do not pose an additional threat to cisgender people.
But what would the limits be? Like, I could just say, yeah, I identify as a man, and go in and rape men. Like, I'm sorry for the R word.
Again, we can't use that word.
Yeah, R word
Yes,
in the
censored.
bathroom. Their bathroom. You know? So they are like,
So you're saying that a cisgender man might pretend to be transgender and then
Yeah.
commit a crime?
Yeah.
Okay. So is it Helen?
yeah, Helena.
Helena.
Yeah, just call me Helen. It's the English word for my name.
All right. So what if someone dresses up like you and then commits a crime? Are you responsible for that crime?
No.
Right, of course not. That would be silly. So if someone pretends to be transgender and then goes and commits a crime, should transgender people be responsible for that?
It is not the same.
Why is it not the same?
Because it's like the whole, what's the English word for it? It's the whole concept of it. You're making this gap for something to be normalized.
Yeah, I do believe that we should normalize the existence of trans people.
Yeah.
My question is,
But you're
why
making
is
this. You're making this.
why is
gap
it not?
in the legal
Why is the
hole.
crime? Why are you not responsible for a crime when someone pretends to be you, but transgender people are responsible for a crime when someone pretends to be trans?
It's the same thing. Like, you are not born a female. Like, when you are raised a female, you learn from a young age that going into the street alone is dangerous. You have men looking at you from a young age. You have so many things that you have to look out for. And people that are born male, they will, and grown up male before they have like switched over genders, they will never have to experience that. It's just a thing. You can't. I think it intrudes women's space, because even though you feel like a girl in your head, and there's nothing wrong about that, you will not have the same chemicals and hormones and everything that a person that are born female will have.
Right. We're not all the same, right?
No, and it's fine. I think being different is totally fine. I think identifying as a woman is totally fine, as long as you to respect like other women's boundaries.
I'm sorry. Another matter has come up. I have to send a text real quick. I'm not ending. Okay, one second. Okay, would you mind repeating your point, please?
Transgender women can't go in the girls' bathroom because women that are born female won't feel safe. And it's not transgender people's fault. It's not anybody's fault. It's just what have happened in the past for decades. And
what has happened in the past?
Through the world history, men have been superior to women. Women have not had the same rights, and that has caused women to have the need for women's spaces, right? Like safe spaces. And if people that are transgender, that are born male, and through those spaces, women won't feel safe anymore. Because it's the same thing. If I was like 16 and I went to the bar and I said, yes, I identify as a 21-year-old and I can go in drinking.
Helen,
right?
do you think that transgender women would feel safe in the men's restroom?
No. That's why I want transgender people to have their own space. Not necessarily.
Right, transgender women are not going to feel safe in the men's restroom. But again, we already went over this. Remember, having a space just for transgender people is going to put transgender people in danger.
Well, no, it necessarily not. It's how you kind of stample the space. Like it's the same if you weren't comfortable going to the boys' bathroom, neither the girls' bathroom, you could use the disabled bathroom, right? That does not mean you're disabled.
Wait. Who can use the disabled restroom?
Everyone. Like
no, not everybody can use the disabled restroom. The disabled restroom is for disabled people.
Yes, but why does everybody use the disabled restroom?
Because people don't respect. Because people have no respect for disabled people. That's why.
But still. But I made my point. Like there are spaces that people can go to that are like not necessarily just for women or just for men. But I feel that transgender people intruding women's spaces like takes down women's rights. And women.
How? What right are we taking away?
Like what if you listen to all the women that are born female? Right? And I think we have a matter in the saying if transgender people should be able to use the women's bathroom or not.
You cut out. I couldn't hear the last bit of that.
I feel that like the women that are born females have a saying, should have a saying. And if you took like measurements and took like tests, I would promise you most women wouldn't want transgender females there. And it's not the transgenders.
It's not a matter of what people want. It's a matter of what's right.
It is.
There's no good reason to keep trans people out of women's restrooms.
But nothing in this world is totally fair. Nothing. Like, it's not fair that I get
But we
paid.
don't have to, that doesn't mean that we have to make things actively unfair. It is unfair to require a woman to use a men's restroom.
I never said that we acquire you to use a men's restroom. I said
Right,
that
you're advocating for a trans-exclusive bathroom, which I am never going to agree to, because that is going to put trans people in danger.
No. Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Why would it not put trans
depends
people
how
in
you
danger?
label the bathroom.
Depends on how would you label the bathroom?
Like all-inclusive bathroom. Like,
Gender neutral.
yeah,
For cisgender people, for transgender people, for men, for women, for non-binary people.
totally.
I support that 100%. But there are still some places that have men's restrooms and women's restrooms and nothing else.
Yeah, but that is not like normal women's bathrooms fault. it's
Normal
a flaw in
women.
the system. It's not.
You don't see how that could be offensive.
It's just a system. That is how it is.
How you doing, Cassidy?
I'm well. How you doing?
Doing all right. Anything you'd like to add to this?
I really wanted to pop in about the disabled bathroom. That seems a bit heavy-handed. First of all, there's not disabled bathrooms everywhere. As far as I know, there are disabled stalls in men and women's. But asking someone to go into the disabled restroom, A, is a bit demeaning, and B, that takes away from a disabled person using that restroom.
Yes, that is true, but like here in Norway, where I have grown up, there are also bathrooms for mothers who have babies, and there are bathrooms for men, and there's bathroom for women, as well as disabled people.
Okay.
So it's nothing wrong making a bathroom that is gender neutral. Like,
right, but gender neutral bathrooms are a different thing than disabled bathrooms.
that is true, but no one will react if you go into a disabled person's bathroom. At least not.
That's because you're ableist.
It's
because society is ableist. It's a bad thing. Thank you, Aunt Becky.
Yeah, but there's a lot of bad things in society, and
Right, and we don't have to accept those things. Thank you for the hand heart.
Yeah, but we don't have to accept transgender people using.
I'm not saying you have to. There's just no reason not to.
Like, if you think about women's safety, it's a major issue. It's a major issue. If just anyone could walk in to a woman's bathroom, like what would separate?
Already, anybody can walk in. It's already. I told you several times.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay, it's already possible for a cisgender man to walk into a women's restroom and assault a woman in there. A man who hang on. A man who intends to assault someone isn't going to care what the sign on the door says. They're not going to. Oh, damn! Well, I'm not allowed in here because the sign on the door says that I'm not allowed to go in here. No, they're already planning on committing a much more severe crime.
Yeah,
the crime of trespassing is hardly on their mind.
If you're used to like women that has male autonomy walking into bathrooms all the time, other women wouldn't react if a man followed a girl into bathroom, right?
What?
If people are used to females with man autonomy walking into women bathrooms, no one would no longer react if a man followed a girl into a bathroom.
Okay. Crimes committed in restrooms are typically crimes of convenience. They're unplanned. Basically, that means that a man is going to, for one reason or another, he's going to feel like there's an opportunity to commit a crime in that restroom, meaning it's probably not full of people. It's very inconvenient to commit crimes in a bathroom full of people. So this person is probably going to assume that there's only one person in that restroom. So there's not going to be anyone to react. He's just going to go in and commit his crime and thinking that he can get away with it.
I agree, but like I said, it's not transgender people's fault. It's not the woman's fault.
Right, it's the fault of the person committing the crime and no one else.
That's true, but that's the world we live in, and we have to take precautions.
That's all I got. Cassidy, you got anything else you want to say?
Yeah, I mean, so if we were to shut down bathrooms for a certain set of people, that just creates more hard time. And meanwhile, the crimes are still going to happen regardless. I also kind of wanted to touch really quick on the gender neutral bathroom part of it. If cis people are comfortable, man or woman, of being with each other in a gender neutral bathroom. What's the problem with anyone being in,
It's for what you're personally comfortable with. So I am not comfortable being in a bathroom with a man, right? So I would go to the woman's bathroom. Of course, if there are women that are comfortable being in gender neutral spaces, that is totally fine. But I feel that women they need their own space to feel safe, and the woman bathroom is one of those spaces. And
yeah, we're just going in circles here. I'm gonna end this. Thank you for coming up. Appreciate you.
Yeah, and
all right. Thank you, Cassidy.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop you down as well. Thank you for coming up.
Bye.
Okay. Reminder, guys, that all the gifts that I received during this live are being donated to this Palestinian family. They are in Gaza. They're trying to leave Gaza. Thank you so much, Chris. Appreciate you. 100% of the gifts that I received for this live will be donated to this family. They're trying to raise 30,000 euros. We've raised, what are we up to now? This live alone, we have raised $45. Just this live. The previous lives combined, we raised another 110. So we're this close to $200 raised today, guys. Thank you so much, everyone. I am going to be ending the live now. So if you want to donate, click on my profile right up here. Click on my link tree, and you will have the opportunity to go directly to their page and donate directly to them. So yeah, thank you all for being here. I'm going to be running this at least all week. All the gifts that I receive all week will be donated to this family in Gaza so they can get out of Gaza safely. Your help is very, very much appreciated. Thank you.